instrumental on the album. It wasn't that I didn't want Andi singing over it at all, because I love Andi
I was
singing.
happy to take a break.
It was just more something that I'd come up with a couple of riffs that joined together, because it was just so chaotic and it just changed so much, and I thought singing just won't fit over this. It needs to be sort of instrumental based. The majority of it I wrote, and then you came in and edited little bits and made it a bit more kind of interesting. That's usually what
Also made it more cohesive, I think.
Yeah, but then the funny story with that one is we'd recorded it a couple of years back, and then we had to re-record it again for the album. But my problem is I can't record the same thing twice, so I changed bits, and I don't know why. I just thought in my mind, oh, Rich will get it. I don't need to tell him I've changed anything. And you went on tour with Annihilator, then you came back and you went, have you changed this? Is this different? And I'm like, yeah. Is it? I don't know. And you're like, yeah, it's totally different. I'm like, whoops, sorry.
You tell me something, I just like, yeah, I'm going to just take a note off the end of that and then send it back, like as if I hadn't done anything.
Yeah. Well, no, I get bored easily. This is the problem, and you'll hear it in this song that it changes so much, constantly changing. I think there's like 8-9 different sections that sound like they could be on the one
It's
song.
just because you're trying to prove to people that you don't copy paste, right?
But you came up with the title for this, didn't you?
Well, I mean, the title was originally going to be something like quirky, like, because it's an instrumental. We were just going to call it like the instrumental, and then I was like, oh, that's corny. And then, well, how about this is not an instrumental? And then we remember that picture of the pipes in A Pound Peep. And that the name of the picture is the Treachery of Images, and the picture is of a pipe, and it says "This is not a pipe" because it's just a picture of a pipe, you know. So,
which is exactly what we were going for.
Exactly. So we just called the song "The Treachery of Images," just like the painting.
Yeah.
And actually, one of my favorite things about this is the chorus section. We came up with these really like subtle keyboard parts underneath it, and the verse as well has this sort of like synth underneath it that you wouldn't actually know what it is or what it's doing.
Yeah.
But it just sort of gives it that extra
It lifts
layer.
it a bit more.
Yeah.
It makes it. If you didn't have that, it actually wouldn't sound AEON ZEN enough.
Yeah.
It needs that just
I think
that little thing.
That might be why I put it in, because especially because we hadn't really done like a full-on instrumental before, so to sort of tie it in with everything else, it just needed that little bit extra to sort of get it to fit with everything.
Yeah, but you wrote all your own drums for this as well. I didn't even hear it until you recorded it. I didn't know what you were going to play.
Yeah, no, it was a particularly interesting track for me actually. For that reason, because you guys had written and got the whole structure, but I was sent a completely drumless track, because normally when you're writing music, there might be ideas, they might already have some drums on them just to kind of set the tone, or you might write something and say, oh, this is what I've thought of, and they'll go, oh yeah, it's cool, but what if you try this? And that's quite a normal collaborative thing to do. Yeah. This was the only track that I had pretty much full reign over what I wanted to do, and it kind of just happened. I wrote it before we got to the studio, but it was only ever really heard once I got to the studio and started playing it and recording it, because no one had really heard much of it beforehand, because it was given it and I worked on it.
But I think that happens less and less these days, because you always have the guitarists going in and programming drums, sending it to the drummer, and then it's hard to sort of break out of what you've already heard,
because it's already imprinted the idea in your mind, and so trying to break away from that.
That's the only track in this album as well that's in drop A. As well. I deliberately wanted something that was just a bit heavier but wasn't 8-string.
Yeah.
Treachery of Images, that's right.
The Magritte picture.
I knew it was something like Treasure Island. The picture.
Treasure Island.